You know, there isn't a lot in life that can prepare you for the moment that Michael Franzese gives you his total endorsement for any future run for a political office that you might make. So this was really, really special. It was a really nice moment, and I'm excited to share it with all of you right now.
Bernie Sanders admits he's not a Democrat. That is a party of socialists and young people who proudly burn the American flag. I don't know many old school Democrats that stand with them at all. So I don't actually know who the Democrats are anymore.
Well, I have to say something. If AOC ever runs for president, you should run against him because the contrast would be so glaring for everybody to see. I really mean that. When I look at her, and people say, oh, it's the woman. It has nothing to do with women. There are many bright, wonderful. My wife is tremendous. It's not that, but they throw that at you right away. It's just that she's not qualified. The same way Kamala Harris was not qualified. Forget all this racial nonsense. I'll never forget, I was listening to her and she puts forth her economic plan to how she's going to save businesses in America. I said, this woman probably never even wrote a check, never did anything in business in her life, and she's going to run the biggest economy in the world. It makes no sense whatsoever, but people just don't see it. You should run against AOC if she runs. I'm telling you right now.
I've thought about running for it. People have offered me to run. Last midterm, people told me to run for Congress, and I didn't do it. I've thought about it.
If she runs, run against her. I'm telling you. You'll win hands down because the woman is just...
My first endorsement. I'll take it.
What is your future? What are you thinking of doing? Yes, you have my strong endorsement.
Thank you. I don't know because, like you've mentioned, things that happen in my life just kind of happen. I try to work my butt off in everything that I do. I always do, but it always seems to come from God. I don't think any of the situations I've been put in were because of me. I mean, Donald Trump didn't have to, hire me. I was a 21-year-old without a college degree. I didn't have to get on that campaign. I got on the campaign because the intern that delivered my letter to, the head of the data department did it because God was watching over me and wanted that letter to be delivered and wanted that to be read and wanted my brother and I on that campaign. I mean, I was meant to meet my husband on the 2016 Trump campaign and be a part of that and then work for the president and do all these things. And a little piece of me truly believes that because A, I believe in God wholeheartedly, and B, I'm the daughter of two immigrants who risked everything to come here, and I would die for this country, and I am obsessed with America, and I can't believe I'm here, but I love everything I'm doing, and it makes sense because 2, 3, 4-year-old Liz, I would cry at the national anthem, and I was Sarah Palin in the school mock election. This is all I've ever wanted. So It all makes sense. So I think God is in charge. At the same time, I'd be lying if I said that I'm not definitely contemplating going into the administration. Donald Trump is, unless, third term happens, Donald Trump is in for 3.5 more years. I would love to work for Donald Trump. I don't think I would work for anyone else in politics ever again. So I think unless I ran myself, my political career is probably over after Donald Trump is out. So I think for me, I would want to go in and work for him. I mean, my journey with him has been nearly 10 years. My entire life is what it is because of Donald Trump. I have my husband and my career and faith in myself because of everything I learned from him. I truly believe that man changed and saved my life in many ways. So it would be an honor to go in and, to work in the White House, to work for him, to work in the administration anyway. So I'm considering that at some point for sure. But I'd be lying if I said I didn't consider running for office. I mean, there aren't a lot of, young Jewish women on the Republican side.
Right.
It's nice to stand out. There are a lot of people on the Republican side that get a bad rap because, misogynist, this, that, I have seen only the opposite of that. I have, like I said, people encouraged me to run a long time ago. I think it would be a privilege and an honor. I think I'd have a lot of fun. I don't really know. I think God's going to give me the answer, but I would not be surprised at all if I ran for public office, probably after Donald Trump is out, because I would like to work for him. But what I've seen in politics has made me not want to work for anyone else ever again.
Well, let me ask you, what about, have you met J.D. Vance?
Once or twice, I have, yeah. And
what do you think of him?
Based on how the Democrats are going, I can only imagine J.D. Vance would be the next president. I don't know who else they could put up against him. I think I'm so turned off by politics. I don't know if I could work for anyone other than Donald Trump.
Really?
Just because of the personal, I just trust that man. I think J.D. Vance is great, but I trust Donald Trump. I have been helped in ways I can't even explain by him and his family. On a personal level, I love that family, and I would do anything for him and for them, and it'd be an honor to work for this country, but obviously to do it under him because of the personal connection. I don't think my nervous system can handle more politics in general. After that, I obviously wholeheartedly support J.D. Vance. or whoever runs after him. And I can only imagine they win because Democrats only have AOC. But I think for me, after Donald Trump's out, it would only be if I ran myself. Like, I think that would be the way to do it because, like I said, I'm having fun now for the first time speaking as myself. I was speaking as the Republican Party for, the last year and representing Donald Trump in other ways before that. So it's the first time I'm speaking as me, and it's a very, very good feeling. And I love talking to people who disagree with me, and I love meeting voters. And, in 24, a lot of what we did was tour the country. We met with people in different states around the country. That's what I enjoy. I want to be in the ground and meet people. I want to meet people who disagree with me and have conversations. Like, Donald Trump did it for those people. And that's who I learned from, is Donald Trump. I wouldn't be doing it for anyone but those people. And I think I would really, really enjoy running for office and being my own person and just trying to be a teeny tiny piece of what breaks the system. I don't think it's going to happen. I'm not that naive. I'm not as strong as Donald Trump. I think the more people inspired by him to break the system, the better.
Well, listen, I would encourage you to do that because doing a little research on you and then now sitting down with you for the past hour and seeing your perspective, I think you have a really good perspective on what's going on. So I would encourage you. We need people like yourself. Absolutely. So listen, I really appreciate you sitting down with me. I think this is going to be very valuable for people to hear. Just your perspective on Trump and everything else. So many people have told me the same thing. When you sit down with this guy, he's very endearing. I mean, look, even Bill Maher, who I sat down with a couple of weeks prior to that, one thing I like about Bill, he's really honest. He puts things out there. He said, I'm never going to be a Trump fan. He said, but I want to give him, when we had a conversation, I want to give him the opportunity. I don't want to disagree with everything that he says. And I think I know he did. He came back with even a better opinion and better perspective from him. And he's telling his own people and his own party off all the time. So I think, if he can be swayed by Donald just by sitting down with him, then anybody else could. But we need people like yourself out there and talking about it. So I really appreciate this sit down. Thank you very much. Hope we get to do it again at some point in time. And if you ever see Donald, just tell him he's got another supporter out there that's working hard for him.
He would love you. I'm sure that'll happen very soon.
Well, appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, my friends. Well, listen, I hope you enjoyed that as much as I do. It's so great when a young person comes up there and speaks so intelligently, has so much common sense, speaks so clearly. What a story. To overcome adversity like that her whole life. She's a very determined person. She wanted to be a skater. She worked hard 7 days a week, did everything necessary. She went through it all, and it's very, very tough. Skating is tough. I don't know how these hockey guys stay on those skates and do the things that they do, but it's very, very tough. And then a series of accidents and misfortunes, and she couldn't pursue that. She was going to be in the Olympics. She couldn't pursue that. That's devastating. I know. When you have your life set on something and you work so hard, and then it doesn't come to pass because of an injury or whatever else happens, it's so hard. But what happened? A chance meeting with a photographer. Her mom, was walking in the park with her dog. The photographer asked to take a photo of the dog and her mom, who obviously suffers through these things. The moms suffer through everything with their children. We know that. My wife, what she went through with my daughter, me to an extent, but it's the moms that always get hit the hardest. Ladies, you know that. Hey, please come and do something to help my daughter. And what happens? Her daughter gets a modeling career, and it blossoms and she's doing terrific. Not something she really wanted. She was a shy girl, but she did it and it helped her. And then what happened? Whether we like it or not, it was Donald Trump that made another life-changing thing happen in her life. And she's become I don't want to say a fan, not a fan, a supporter of the man Donald Trump is. She met his family. He's helped her tremendously. And you know what, people? Everybody I know that has met this man personally, even Bill Maher, said he was great to be around. He's just, there's something dynamic about him, and it's a shame. It really is. No matter who it is, whether it be Trump or anybody else, to demonize somebody, just not good. So I hope you listen to this girl's story. You never know where something is going to come from that's going to help you overcome adversity. But tremendous story, ladies. I hope you enjoyed it. Guys, too. And that's it for today.